So you filed your taxes. Early, actually. You thought your refund was going to come in about 3 weeks or so. All your friends and neighbors have received their refunds, but all it says when you check your refund at www.irs.gov is that your return is still processing. What's happening? This video goes into some of the most common reasons refunds can be delayed and what you can do about it. I'm the Tax Geek, and here is why your refund is so late, oversimplified. In 2021, I published my original video on why refunds can be delayed. But the reasons detailed in the original video have lost their importance, since most of them were related to, well, you know. Therefore, the original video was made unlisted in late 2022. Thus, this newly updated and revised sequel to the original video. So let's not delay any further. Here are 5 reasons your tax refund might be delayed. 1. It's the law. The Protecting Americans from Tax Hikes, or PATH Act, mandated that all refunds involving Earned Income Credit and Additional Child Tax Credit be released no earlier than February 15th. This allows the IRS to do some preliminary document matching and prevent criminals from filing fraudulent returns claiming these credits. But that doesn't necessarily mean you'll get your refund right on February 16th. Since there are millions of returns filed claiming these credits, these refunds are released over several weeks. Most taxpayers in this situation should receive their refunds by early March. 2. You made a mistake. Whether you e-file or paper file, the IRS checks the entries on your return and essentially recomputes your taxes and credits. If the IRS's figures don't match yours, it throws the return into error resolution. Eventually, you'll get a notice, usually in the form of a CP11 letter. The letter will tell you what type of mistake you made and how much it changes your tax liability. These letters are not always bad news. If the error they find is in your favor, the IRS will send you an additional refund or reduce your balance due. If you agree with the notice and you do a refund, you don't need to do anything. The refund will be sent to you automatically. If you owe, go ahead and pay, either by check or money order or directly online at www.irs.gov. If you disagree with the letter, there will be instructions in the letter about how to dispute the IRS's findings. 3. Verification is needed. The IRS will sometimes require additional verification before they will release a refund. You might need to verify your identity, or you might need to verify your documents. If the IRS is requesting identity verification, they will send you an identity verification letter. You can respond to this letter by calling 800-830-5084. You will be asked questions about the tax return you filed the year before. Or you may be asked questions about your former employers or addresses. Once the IRS has determined that you are, indeed, you, they will release your refund. Even though the IRS has electronic versions of all your income documents, in certain cases they will request that you send them actual copies of your W-2 or 1099 forms. This sometimes happens when there is a larger than usual amount of withholding as a percentage of the income being claimed. The IRS might also ask for additional proof of income, such as final pay stubs or bank deposit records. Supply them with copies, never originals, of only the documents requested. Always send a copy of the letter you received with the documents. The documents can be sent by mail or faxed. If you have any questions as to how and where to respond, call the number on the letter. Once the IRS receives your documents, you should receive your refund in 6 to 8 weeks. 4. Your return has been selected for audit. Once upon a time, the IRS would send taxpayers their refund, and then, several months later, send an audit notice. If the audit finding was not in the taxpayer's favor, the taxpayer would have to repay the refund, plus in many cases significant additional taxes, penalties, and interest. Today, when a return is flagged for audit, the IRS will withhold any refund until the audit is resolved. That way, if the audit is not resolved in the taxpayer's favor, the held refund will be applied to the additional taxes, rather than having the taxpayer repay the refund and then some. How to actually respond to an audit is a story for another time, and usually requires professional assistance. 5. You have past unfiled tax returns. If you have unfiled tax returns for previous years where, by the IRS's reckoning, you might have balances due, the IRS will generally not release your current year refund until those prior returns have been filed. Again, this may not be entirely bad news. Based on the documents they have received, the IRS will compute a tax liability as if you are single and claiming no dependents, deductions, or credits. When you actually file the prior year returns, you can take advantage of whatever deductions or credits are available, reducing your tax liability for those years. You might even be eligible for refunds on those returns, but you will only receive those refunds for the latest 3 tax years. Once you file the delinquent returns, the IRS will then apply your current year refund to your total prior tax debt, plus penalties and interest. If there's still refund money left over, the IRS will send it to you. So at what point should you call the IRS when you haven't received either your refund or a notice stating why it's being held? Always allow at least 90 days from the date the return is e-filed, 120 days if you paper filed, before you attempt to call the IRS about your refund. The number is 800-829-1954. Be prepared to hang on, as there is an extensive phone tree and usually long wait times for a representative. When you finally reach an IRS representative on the phone, they can tell you if your return has been received and is processing, tell you what documentation is needed, if any, and how and where to send it, and tell you if any documentation you sent has been received. Unfortunately, the IRS representative cannot expedite your refund or release your refund to be paid. These are not the only reasons that refunds can be delayed, but they are the most common. You'll find links to additional resources and information in the video description. Please like and subscribe if you found this video to be informative. Go ahead and share this video with anyone who would find it useful. And of course, your questions, comments, and suggestions are always welcome in the comment space below. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon with more of your taxes oversimplified.